So namaloha. So I'm switching things up a little bit and working with my my 15th gate. Right, it's right here. It's not activated in the transit chart. Do you see it? The 15. That's in my north node. So this is all about being in your own rhythm. So I am on soul time now. I'm on soul time, which means that it's about being in my natural rhythm. And Tuesdays are the rhythm of starting the week. It's always been like that for me. Monday's more like staying at home, relaxing. It's more like me day, right? I don't have responsibilities, etc. So I'm recording this to be dropped on Tuesday to get you all prepared for the week. Okay, so if you're not new to my channel, Neutrino Astrology, then I'm going to just tell you who this message is for, right? So this is a message for the women who are done with the dog and pony show. Done with the dog and pony show for people, right? But they don't really feel safe to be real yet and to be their authentic self, right? So it's them. And then if you're a manifesting generator and you're exhausted from shape-shifting to be understood, or if you're a generator aching for love that doesn't demand your energy in exchange for crumbs, love crumbs, or you're a projector, right, who has overgiven to those who never truly saw you, or you're a manifestor and you're done being cast as the strong one, yet quietly breaking inside and nobody notices. Or you're the reflector who's shedding spiritual identities that once made them feel safe, but now keep them small, right? Or you're a twin flame divine feminine, and especially those women who are still karmically entangled with the King of Swords masculine, right? Who know the twin flame connection is sacred, and they're finally seeing where the bondage ends and the truth begins, and they're ready to stop dancing around the pain in the name of love and loyalty. And they're learning that true union is not with the twin, it's with your own body, right? You're not locked into some kind of mental fantasy. And then, of course, for the neutrino fractal, right? This video is for the women who carry the archetype of the priestess, the mystic, the rebel, or the rescuer. And it's for those who were daughters of mothers who sacrificed themselves, martyred themselves, and now must choose to break the pattern with love and not war. And you're like, what's this neutrino fractal about? Well, that's the soul tribe, right? There's 144,000 templates. And if you're on one of the 144,000 templates, you like the sound of my voice, you find it soothing, right? That's a total indication that you're meant to be on my you're on my fractal. And if you're annoyed and irritated and, you're probably not on my fractal, and it's time to move on. Okay, so this is the message for you. And so this is what we're going to cover today. The Lilith square Pluto transmission. And it's so funny. I was so guided. It's like, what am I going to talk about? Right? And then this came to me. It's like, I wonder what Lilith is up to. Right? And it was like, it's completely squaring Pluto. So we'll go into that. So we'll go into the spiritual meaning of Pluto square Lilith, the sacred storm, spiritual teaching, the cost of being nice, the karmic patterns that are being broken by the human design types, how this affects the twin flames and the divine feminine, and messages for all the human design types and twin flame travelers. Okay? So, when's this happening? Well, it's already happening. And isn't this interesting? It's around the eclipse that this happened. March 14th to March 26th. So we're still in it, right? So this is Lilith piercing right through the veil, right? Lilith and Pluto aren't really pals, like they're not good buddies, but they're definitely mirrors of one another, and they initiate the two. So they're working, even though it's a tension, a square, it's working for you, Divine Feminine, to come out through the surface, right? So she's coming through the veil. That's why I have that picture of her, right? Fiercely swimming to the surface, right? So she's piercing right through the veil in the emotional, sexual, and psychic realms. So this is activating the shadow of the feminine, right? The part of you that's been exiled, shamed, silenced, and feared. And we're talking lifetimes, not just this lifetime. So she's not really the shadow of the Divine Feminine. She's the catalyst for the Divine Feminine to awaken, right? So you can't ascend until you descend, right? That's how it works. You have to descend. And descending is Lilith, right? So a great song, when I was putting the slides together, the song just came in my head. It was rattling and burning down the house. That one, that's the Talking Heads, Burning Down the House. I think it was in the 80s that was recorded. It's like new wave, I guess, or yeah, I would call it wave, new wave. And it's about burning down the house. Isn't like literally burning down your house, but it's burning the things that make you comfortable and stop you from growing. This is what this is saying. It's like burn that down. Be the phoenix. So that's a good song to tap into the energy of Lilith square Pluto. So just search that on YouTube. Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads from the 80s. Okay. So Lilith square Pluto. Let's look at the questions. Do I keep feeding what's dying? Right? We all know what's dying in our life. What's no longer has energy. Do I keep feeding that? Lilith square Pluto is going to give you the answer, right? Or do I surrender to the cycle that wants to be born through me, Divine Feminine? Okay, so those are the questions. And then let's talk about the sacred storm. Look how calm it is here, right? And silent and peaceful here. Well, this is, what do we know in nature when it's eerily silent and quiet? Well, we know that a storm is coming, don't we? And that's just like the feminine. The feminine, when the feminine's not talking, right? The feminine has to express. Divine Feminine has to express. When that feminine stops talking, and every man knows this, every masculine knows this, what does he know? He knows that a storm's coming. Right? When the feminine is like silent, because you can feel it, right? So this is what we're feeling, right? The eerie silence of the feminine before the storm, and we can feel it in our cells, right? This is the sacred storm that's coming, right? To like completely wipe away what's untrue and what's false, and leave what's true and authentic, right, in its wake. So this is a good thing. So we're headed with Pluto and Lilith for a sacred storm. And it's a good thing, right? So this is the priestess being born out of the chaos. Okay, so let's look at Pluto. Let's look at Pluto first. So Pluto's in the 41st gate. And there it is up here, right? It's activating here, the 41st gate, right here. And that's the start codon. Right? So in human design, that's this in Gene Keys, it's the start of a new cycle. And it's in there for quite a while. So Pluto in the 41st, right? The desires to be nice, right? So what does this archetype mean? It means the desires to be nice, i.e. fake, are being burned to the ashes, and what's left is the real desires of the soul. So fake desires are being burned with Pluto in the 41st. So this is the fantasy of, I'm not the perfect mother. I'm not the perfect daughter. I'm not the perfect sister. I'm not the perfect girlfriend, or I'm not the perfect friend. I'm not the perfect wife. I'm not the perfect lover. I'm not the perfect spiritual person. This is the fantasy that has to get burned. And underneath these ashes are the raw, sacred desire to be whole, wild and free, embodied and sovereign. Basically, to be your authentic self. That's the true desire of the soul. These are fake. This is all fake. I have to make myself perfect. This is the ego game, right? So all this is going to be burned away. So Pluto in the 41st is the death and rebirth of desire. So the gate 41 is the star codon of experience. It initiates fantasy and longing. It's a root pressure, right? Initiates the fantasy, the longing, the emotional hunger, and the desire for something more. So Pluto in this place, Pluto is all about transformation, right? Brings death to illusion, especially around false desires, escapism, and projected fantasies of love, motherhood, or womanhood that never truly fed the soul. So Pluto in the gate 41 is purifying the root of feminine longing, right? It's purifying the root of feminine longing. So it's burning down the house, right? Burning down the fantasy. So only the soul level truth remains. So it's very aligned with the cross of the sleeping phoenix that starts in 2027, right? It's the new 400-year plus global cycle that's starting in 2027. So there's the mandala. So that's why this is a big deal, right? There's the 41 there, and the 41's up here, right? And this is the star codon. It's taken a long time for Pluto to move around here, like 248 years it's taken to move all the way around the mandala. So this is the start of a new cycle. So this is the destruction. Pluto destroys, right? So that something can be reborn. So destruction of false feminine desire, the desire to be chosen by someone else instead of choosing yourself, the desire to be needed instead of being free, the desire to be useful instead of just being divine, be your divine self, the desire to be nice instead of being real and authentic. Burn down the house, burn it down. Burn down the fantasy, and that's what Pluto wants to do. Whether you are into it or not, it's going to get burned. So the divine feminine must walk through the fire to reclaim her flame. She must walk through the fires of transformation to reclaim her flame, right? So let go of relationships, roles, and routines that keep you in a loop of proving. Right? Trying to prove yourself to other people. You're trying to fix people. You're sacrificing yourself for others. This is what Pluto wants destroyed in your life. Pluto's about the truth, getting to the capital T truth. So let's look at Lilith, right? Lilith is let's look at her down here. So Lilith is about, she's the goddess that was exiled, right? So she awakens the truths, because in plural, that you repress. Lilith doesn't play nice, right? She's not a good girl. She doesn't care about your coping strategies. She doesn't care about the masks you wear or you being polite, right? She pulls that poker face mask right off your face. That's Lilith. So this can bring sudden eruptions of emotion or memories coming back to you. Watch your dreams too. Desires you didn't even know you had will start. These are your true desires will start to surface. Rage, right? Sexual lust can come up. Grief, repulsion of other people, right? Just repelled by other people. Or psychic downloads. And this is the chaos of your Shakti. Remember I talked about that? The chaos of your Shakti. Divine Feminine has to express, right? So Lilith wants you to express the truth. So it may get messy in the next 2 weeks. And remember, it takes you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet, right? And healing is messy. You have to let yourself get messy. And the social masks are like, oh, I've got to look like I have it all together, right? I'm a teacher. I'm a healer, right? I'm a life coach. I'm supposed to have it all together. It's like, no, you got to get yourself, you got to let yourself get messy, right? Let that chaos come out of you. It's got to express itself, right? So Lilith is going to confront power struggles, power imbalances in your relationships, issues of control, issues around rejection and abandonment, neglect, right? Issues around betrayal, issues around you abandoning yourself, right? Especially in relationships, right? And Lilith is in Scorpio. And the archetype of Scorpio doesn't play games, right? Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. This is about a deep, deep transformation now. So you may walk away during this transit. Be aware of this. You may walk away from someone who controls and objectifies you, uses you, exploits you. You're going to start to see Lilith will rip the mask of that other person off, and you'll be able to see them clearly. Lilith doesn't want you being the doormat anymore. Lilith doesn't want you being the martyr, right? That has to go. So this is about Lilith wants you to start reclaiming your voice, your true voice, and your body, right? Your body's really, really important as the divine feminine. It's time to honor your body and the wisdom, right, that comes with that. So if we look at Lilith in the 50th gate, and let me zip up here so you can see the 50th gate, right? Pluto's in the 41 in the root. And then the 50, this is the spleen, right? This is the splenic awareness system. It's an ancient awareness system, right? So that's how that works. And in terms of the natal chart, just FYI, that these are the only placements, activations in human design. It goes from the sun to Pluto. But Chiron's missing and Black Moon Lilith, but it doesn't mean that we can't look at them, right? Okay, because it's all important and it's all guiding us to ourselves right now. It's all about being authentic. It's about you being the phoenix now. Okay, so Lilith in the 50th gate, activating the 50th gate with this square that's going on. Well, she's the exiled priestess, right? They kicked her out, exiled priestess. She was too much, right? You're too much. Holding sacred values, right? So the gate 50 is about values. And gate 50 is the guardian of values, tribal integrity, and protective responsibility. Traditionally seen as the mother or the caretaker role, right? This is all about children, the 50-27. It's all about raising children and handing down values. It's very tribal, right? This is tribal consciousness. So, but when Lilith is here, what do we meet? Well, we meet the shadow of over responsibility, taking on too much responsibility, shouldering too much, right? If you have shoulder pain, I have a friend that has a lot of shoulder pain right now, and I'm like, right? What are you shouldering in your life? Well, her husband. It's over responsibility, right? Martyrdom and feminine repression within the family or the tribe. And Lilith says, I will not uphold values that silence my truth, right? I'm not going to uphold those values. That to be a good girl, I don't say anything negative. I always have to be positive. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. That would be an example of a value that's silencing your truth, your authenticity. Right? All of these tribal values and principles, they need to be looked at for the cross of the sleeping phoenix. Tribal consciousness is being mutated, right? It's leaving. And I will not be responsible for others at the expense of my soul, at the expense of my soul purpose. Well, I'm just gonna sacrifice, right? And mothers do this. Mothers, caretakers, women do this. I'm going to sacrifice my soul purpose for my partner or my children or whatever. This Lilith is saying, no, you're not doing that. So this is the shadow of the good woman, right? The one that keeps it all together, even when she's falling apart, right? Nobody notices. Nobody notices she's depressed. Nobody notices she's in pain, right? Nobody notices that she didn't get, a second helping or something of dinner, but everyone else did. Nobody notices her and her sacrifices. This is the good woman, the silent woman, right? This is the shadow, is Lilith. It's like no more. And Lilith in gate 50, she's done. She's done with that. And she's going to crack open all the old codes of self-sacrifice and codependency and martyrdom. So wherever that you're doing that in your life, Lilith is going to be coming to the surface, right, of your emotions and your psyche. And you're not going to be able to hold back. You're not going to be able to hold back. Lilith wants you to express the truth, right? Okay, we went over that one. So Lilith reveals the you before you got domesticated. Lilith is you like the wild stallion before you went to the ranch and got tamed, right? Lilith, this is you. So it's authentic to you, right? So it can be deeply creative, right? This place, and very sexual, Lilith, especially, Lilith and Scorpio. Scorpio is a very sexual sign. So it can be deeply creative, sexual, and transformative times in these next 2 weeks. So Lilith has come to burn what is not you, to remind you of your primal, powerful, holy essence, your divine feminine. She's here to remind you of your power that you've repressed, right? So Lilith holds a lot of power, right, for the feminines. So this is like you wake up one morning and you just know, I can't do this anymore. I cannot pretend, right? I can't pretend anymore that everything's okay and I'm fine and I'm happy. I just can't do it. You suddenly cry, maybe during sex, or you can't tolerate fake intimacy anymore, right? The fake O's, doing the fake orgasms and stuff. You're not into it anymore. You're not into this fake intimacy. Like, no, I don't feel satisfied sexually. Lilith will come out of you and just say it, right? Like, no, I'm not into you. I'm actually repulsed by you now, right? This is this kind of stuff that will come out of your mouth, but it's the truth, right? It's like no more pretending. No more shallow conversations and interactions. Lilith will come right out of you and it's like, I got to go, right? Or you'll say something like snippy, right? Snippy. And it's just like, or just tell them the truth, No, we're not best friends. You talk all the time and I listen. I only hear from you when you're going through hard times. You're foul weather friends. It will just Lilith, it will just come out of you. And you know what you're going to feel? You're going to feel relief before the ego tries to get in and make you feel guilty and shameful. But Lilith won't, you'll feel relieved. It's like, finally, I spoke the truth to that person. No, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. No, you're not my friend. You never were my friend. Right? So no more shallow conversation, nice day if it don't rain conversations, right? Right? Lilith Scorpio wants depth, right? With Lilith here, you can feel misunderstood, right? And again, it's like this will get to you if this is a pattern for you. It's like, I always feel misunderstood. You can feel enraged, right? Just frustration coming out of you, just like, like that guttural rage coming from you, right? The screaming and yelling in the car, just at your life, right? Of being in a cage. Lilith doesn't like to be in a cage. And our world is set up that women live in cages, right? They live in cages. They're energetic cages, mental cages. You can feel erotic, like, right? Start to feel your sensuality and your sexuality with Lilith. Lilith wants to move through you. You can feel alive, right? Every cell in your body is like vibrating. You want to dance. You want to move, right? Divine Feminine wants to do those things. You can feel powerful. expressive, right? And somehow you feel more of you. I feel like more myself, right? I'm giving myself permission to allow Lilith to express herself through me. And then you're cutting cords with every role you played, every single role, every single mask that you wore, just so that you could feel worthy and accepted of other people. You can see what a transit this is, eh? Okay, so Black Moon Lilith in the 50, right? This is women are waking up to the cost of being nice, right? So this is overgiving in your families, saying yes when your body's screaming no, protecting everyone but yourself, nurturing everyone but yourself, suppressing the voice, right, of your inner feminine woman, not allowing yourself to speak the truth, right? So let's look at nice, right? The fake mask here, right? Right here. Like, let's laugh at it, right? That's what you're doing. You're wearing masks, and you probably have several masks that you wear. Well, nice stands for not in contact with essence, not in contact with essence. And essence is who you really are. So being nice is an insult. If anybody ever calls you nice, they're insulting you. I want you to look at nice in that way. So being nice is code for being disconnected from your truth, from your authenticity, right? Imagine get that's on your epitaph at the end of your days. She was really nice. We never knew who she really was because she always wore a mask, but boy, was she nice. That's horrible. That's not a good epitaph, right? So it's a performance, right? It's the dog and pony show. Nice. It's a survival strategy. It's a mask you wear. It says, don't reject me. Please approve of me, validate me, like me. That's what this nice means. I'll carry your burdens if it means you'll stay, right? The nice. I'll carry your burdens if it means you'll stay. And underneath this mask is rage and anger, right? Unexpressed needs unmet, right? Not expressing needs and they're not met. Boundaries betrayed, truth silence, swallowing the truth, right? Here, so that's not, you don't want to be nice. Now, if you want to reclaim the word nice, I think we should just eliminate nice out of our vocabulary, actually. But a good way to look at it is now I choose embodiment. Now I choose embodiment. That would be the Phoenix way, right? So this is not politeness. It's not fakery. It's not smallness, right? This is the full embodiment, right? Your full embodiment. This is you really coming in, your presence coming into your body, into your physical body. This is you, truth in motion, your Satnam, right? Kundalini Yoga, right? Satnam. It's a Bija mantra, and it means truth is my identity. So you've got Namaste, I bow to the light in you that's also in me. Satnam is like I'm truth. Whatever coming out of my mouth is authentic and true, right? That's Satnam. You're gonna the empowerment is that you learn that love does have boundaries. Love does has boundaries, and giving means that it has limits. Giving has limits. Love has boundaries. It's okay to set a boundary, not be the doormat, right? You're going to learn self-respect. Lilith wants you to learn self-respect. Lilith wants you to learn self-love. Lilith wants you to learn self-worth, right? And to watch the attack of the ego, which is you're selfish. And you'll get nice women, right? Nice women, maybe nice women friends or a nice mother, your nice grandmother will say you're selfish, but that's her conditioning, right? Now you're choosing embodiment. Lilith doesn't care. I don't care what my mother says. She's just speaking from her conditioning. She doesn't even know who she is, and I'm going to listen to her. She's wearing a mask. It's ridiculous, right? This is Lilith. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with playing this role. It's not who I am. I need to jump out of my skin. I feel like I'm going to jump out of my skin. I'm just so uncomfortable in this role. It's like somebody put you in a corset. Remember the corsets? Somebody put you in a full-blown energetic corset, and you're like, no, I want this off of me. This is Lilith, right? So as you inhabit your body, Divine Feminine, it's all about your body, your physical body. Your physical body is telling you the truth right now. Whatever state it's in, it's telling you the truth, right? So when you fully embody, right, with your essence, that's the first step into the power of the Divine Feminine. As soon as you inhabit your body, like, I'm here, I'm feeling my feet on the ground, I'm feeling my breath in my belly, I'm relaxed, I'm here in my body. That's your first step into the power of the Divine Feminine, right? That Lilith wants you to claim your power, but you got to walk through the flame. The flames. So you want to rise as the High Priestess with Lilith, right? Lilith wants you to rise as the High Priestess from the tarot, if you know the tarot. So this means you have to stop chasing validation, and you want to honor your own knowing. Stop chasing. You know the answers, right? Spiritual teaching. You know what spiritual teaching says about women? The nature of women? That they're their own psychologists, right? Women don't even need a teacher. Like, when you're in your High Priestess, Divine Feminine energy, right? Women don't need a teacher. Why? Because they're their own teachers. They were the first teachers. Mothers are the first teachers, right? So they're their own psychologists. And what do they need? They need a space, right, where they feel safe, a space where they can relax. So in India, ancient India, they used to have a thing called peanut time. Peanut time. And that's when all the women would get together, like in the afternoon, and they would all eat peanuts together, right? And they would talk about their problems, right? And all the problems got solved just by talking, right? The male psyche wants to fix, but the woman doesn't need to be fixed. She needs to be listened to, right? She needs presence. She needs the container of the Divine Masculine, right? But she also needs her peanut time, right, with her women friends that are just going to listen, right? So this is like trusting your own knowing, that you know the answers, but you need to go within to your High Priestess, right? The silent High Priestess. And this means taking space for yourself, right? Like, even if you're a mother, you have a lot of responsibilities, you need to take time to yourself so that you can listen to yourself. There's a lot of wisdom in your body, right? So you want to surrender to the rhythms of your body and surrender to your emotions, right? An intuitive flow. And that's like, sometimes the energy isn't for what the mind wants it to be, right? And this is what we have to start embracing in the cross of Sleeping Phoenix. We're coming into the present now moment, right? This whole idea of strategizing for the future or reflecting on the past is leaving. It's about the present now moment. So this is why you need to surrender to the rhythm of your body, because you can trust your body. My body, it does not feel, my nervous system is not relaxed around this person. My body does not feel contracted around this person. Your body's saying, this is not your person. This is not a good person for you to be around. Oh, I feel really relaxed with this person, right? My nervous system's relaxed. I can feel like I can be myself. I'm breathing deep, right? That's your person. That's a good person's on your fractal. I even notice that too with some people. It's like, suddenly I can't breathe, and I'm like, and I'm picking up, my vehicle is picking up on this other person that's not on my fractal. Or I'm talking and I feel like I have to effort, right? Like I have to make so much effort just to like speak. Well, that's another sign they're not on your fractal. Their aura is not open. Your vehicles are not meant to be, right? They're on another fractal. So trust your body. And then let go of controlling outcomes, right? And begin to emanate presence. So emanation is a gift of that 41 I'll go into, but this is when you emanate presence. So you want to treat your body as sacred. It's a sacred temple, right? And you want to drop into the body and out of the intellect, right? There's not wisdom there for you in the intellect. This is the male way, the weak male, is to pull you out of your divine feminine, pull you out of the wisdom of your body into your intellect. That's not where your power is. Stay dropped into the body. And you're like, well, how can I speak? You will be able to. You'll be speaking from your power, right? With your presence, and hopefully bring your masculine into his presence, right? The intellect makes everything complex and it wastes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of prana to feed a busy brain, right? And intellect is not intelligence. It's not wisdom, right? It's just manipulating facts and figures and things. So, right, you want to treat your body as sacred and drop in, and you'll know the truth. In each and every moment, you'll know the truth when you're in your body. So this awakens the gift of anticipation. So this is the 41. It's the gift of anticipation. It's the shadow of fantasy, which you're letting go of all these fantasies, right? And this is the readiness to receive. Not to force, not to go out and hustle and hassle, but your readiness to receive, right? And surrender to that, and then you enter emanation, and that's the Siddhic frequency of the 41, where you don't seek, right? You're not seeking for the sacred. You're not seeking for the divine. You are the divine. You are the sacred. So this is the realization that I've come to simply live what I came here to experience. You have come down here on this planet to have a unique experience to you. And if you're fighting that, your body's going to let you know, this is not the experience I'm supposed to be having. I'm so miserable. I'm so unhappy. I feel like I have to wear a mask. If I take off my mask, all hell breaks loose, because you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong relationships, right? You want to come here to experience what you're here to experience with ease and relaxation. And also, you're no longer defined by what happened to you, right? You're not creating an identity about what happened to you, right? These were just the details of your life, your past. You're letting that go. That's not going to define you, who you are. You're a spiritual being, a powerful divine feminine that's come down, and you had some experience, some stuff happened. But did it happen to you? No, right? You were like the witness. You were the high priestess. There's a part of you that witnessed this, right? So you want to not get trapped into your past identities, right? They were just details. So you've become, and then you become a divine transmitter of frequency. You become that universal conduit of unconditional love as the divine feminine. So you become a living oracle, and you're the high priestess, right? You're the high priestess that's returned. So Lilith wants you to return to your high priestess archetype. So the old you, right? You were the one that held it all together while you quietly fell apart and nobody noticed, right? Right? You felt the quiet scream inside you. There's got to be more than this. There's got to be more to life than this. Is this it? Right? So remember that you're not breaking down. In the next 2 weeks, you're breaking free. So look at it like that. I'm losing everything. I'm breaking down. I'm losing it, right? People around me, and like Lilith is moving through me. I can't believe the stuff that I'm saying, and I'm so angry, and I'm so sexual, and I'm so like want to break free. That's what's happening. You're breaking free. You're not breaking down. So this is powerful energy. We're moving through the feminines. So remember that you were never meant to carry your family's shame in your body. That's what you have to throw off too. That's the tears. There's going to be tears coming, right? Because that shame's got to leave your body. You weren't meant to carry it for your family. You were never meant to be the strong one, right? While your soul withered in silence. Well, she's the independent one. She's right. She never has any problems. She's always there for me, blah, blah, blah. They can't see you, right? These people can't see you. They can't hear that quiet scream, right? They can't see you falling apart. They don't notice you, right? They're not in touch with you. So this week, your sacral, for the manifesting generators and generators, is going to feel like a volcano. It's going to feel like a volcano. And that's this energy, right? Lilith moving through your sacral. So you want to let it erupt. So remember that you're not here to protect the past. You're here to birth the future as a divine feminine. And you're being called out, right? Okay, so that's what I got to share for this week, and I'm really excited to hear from you. So if you could comment down below if you're feeling this energy, because we're in it now. If you're feeling these changes, especially in your body, and right, are you doing things out of character, or are you coming to a place of self-love and self-trust? Are you starting to trust and love your body, right? You've been taught, divine feminines, to have a lot of hate and about your body that I talked about in the last video, right? Of the weak men being attracted to the virgin or the mother. So the next part we're going to do is the readings. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with the twin flame readings for all you twin flame travelers out there. So this is cards that I can't say I picked. I shuffle. How I do is I do a prayer and I shuffle and get my energy in there and pray for what my fractal needs to hear at this time. And I just shuffle, right, from a neutral place, and the cards just start jumping. So jumping out. So just so you know how that works. And then I have a little time to contemplate the cards, because my IQ, if you know the Gene Keys Venus sequence, is the first line, and that's all about contemplation, right? Okay, so let's get into this. So this is Lilith square Pluto for the twin flames. And so the questions here, so have a look at the cards there. So the question is the first position, right? The first position here, the Ace of Pentacles, is all about the divine feminine soul flame, right? So really, the twin flames are shedding toxic romantic loyalty, being loyal to toxicity, basically, and karma, and then this fake spirituality in order to rise in a raw, true love and embodied leadership. Okay, but let's get into the Ace of Pentacles here. So this means the divine feminine of the twin flame is ready for something real, right? Ace of Pentacles is like, right? It's material. I want something real. I don't want fantasy, right? I don't want the fantasy of that 41. So no more spiritual breadcrumbs. I don't want any more breadcrumbs in my relationships, right? No more twin flame illusions either, right? That it's just like we're going to hold hands and walk off into the sunset. And anybody on the twin flame journey knows this. It's not about that at all. It's about your awakening. You're about your awakening. It's about being in union with your soul for each party. And remember that the twin flame is your most powerful mirror, right? It's your most powerful mirror. So the divine feminine soul is saying, I want love that grows roots. I want to build a sacred life, right? From the soil of truth, something real, right? Intangible. I don't want to live in this fantasy world, especially with my twin or the person that I'm with right now. So this is calling your energy back from any love, right? So-called love that asked you to abandon yourself. So Ace of Pentacles is like, I'm calling back the love that required me or requires me in the present moment to sacrifice my authenticity. I have to be someone else to be worthy of love or validated or accepted. I'm calling it back. And this is new. This is new energy, right, for aces. So this is you getting sovereign, right, in terms of your desires. Divine feminine, like you're getting real about your desires. So the card 2 with these 3 cards, and this is the 8 of Pentacles reversed, the 7 of Swords, and then the Knight of Swords. And this here reeks of karma, right? Reeks of karma. You got dishonesty, you got coldness, right? Cold intellect. So this is about your false twin, divine feminines. This is your false twin. Or soulmate, right? Whatever you're calling this person that you're still with. So this is saying that the masculine is avoiding doing the work, right? 8 of Pentacles reversed. He's not doing the inner work. He knows what needs healing. And I mean, he knows. This says that, but he's dancing around it. He's escaping. He's distracting himself. He's playing spiritual dress up. Look at me. I'm a spiritual person, right? Without actually doing the inner work. It's all fakery. So, this is he's not ready to meet you, right? And he's showing you over and over and over and over again that he's not ready to meet you. And he's in deception, right? 7 of Pentacles, right? And, 7 of Swords. So, he's not ready to meet you where you're anchoring. You're anchoring the Ace of Pentacles. You want something real. You want to start to build something, right? Ace of Pentacles. I want to build something. I want to build a family, right? I want to, or whatever it is, I want to build something together. And he's just not into it, right? He doesn't want to do the work. So this isn't stopping you. This is the great thing with the divine feminines. This isn't stopping you. This energy here, it's actually making things more clear, right? Oh, I can see him now. I can see him now. He doesn't want to do the work. He's playing spiritual dress up, but it's not going to stop me from moving ahead on my journey and doing my own work, right? So it gives you resolve. And so the King of Swords there, this is a man who lives in his head, right? The King of Swords is a man that lives in his head in this position, right, with these 2 cards. He's emotionally distant, but very mentally sharp, right? He's strategic, he's analytical, he's logical, but he's disconnected from his intuition. He's not connected to his intuition. There's no room for his intuition. He's busy in his head, right? So he can often be seen as wise, like, wow, he's so smart, he's brilliant, blah, 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 right? By others, right? Outside. But inside, he's deeply avoidant of any authenticity. So combined with the 8 of Pentacles reversed and the 7 of Swords, we see a karmic masculine who knows what's true, but he doesn't act on it. It's a pattern of intellectualizing intimacy. Well, we're being intimate, right? We're intellectually bantering back and forth with our minds, right? The head on a stick guy, right? You know those people, they're a head on a stick. They would be perfectly happy to not have a body and just be a head on a stick. So not embodying intimacy. And a possible past life soul contract with you, because I asked about past lives too, right? where he used logic. So King of Swords, this is a past life contract that you've had with your karmic, that he used logic, right? Or authority to control the field of love. That's how he kept control with the mind, right? And the intellect. So he powered over you with his intellect. But Lilith, Lilith doesn't get fooled by word salads, right? She doesn't get fooled by the intellect. She's all about frequency, right? Is the frequency authentic or not? And I don't care what comes out of your mouth. Because the thing is that words can lie. Like somebody can lie till their cows come home out of their mouth, but their aura doesn't lie, right? And your body knows divine feminine. If this karmic is lying to you, he's not in truth, not in authenticity. And Lilith is going to amp that up for you, right? She's like going to put it, like an amp. She's going to put it to 11, Lilith. So why is he still your mirror then, divine feminine? Why is he still around, right? Well, there's a reason. This means that you have to let go of this dynamic that you have, which is you're drawn to men who appear powerful. I'm having a deja vu moment right now. It's funny that I've done this before. I've said this before. Anyway, back to this. So the King of Swords is she's been drawn to men. She's been conditioned, right? Drawn to men who appear powerful, and right, they've got a high status. People admire them, things like that, right? She puts them on a pedestal. You put them on a pedestal, divine feminine, but they can't feel you. King of Swords can't feel. Can't feel you. Doesn't feel you, right? So there's no intimacy. If someone's cut off from their heart, there's no intimacy there, right? Because it's about emotional connection with somebody. That's what romance is. That's what intimacy is. So this is your final test, divine feminine. And the final test is, will you keep giving your fire, your passion, your energy to someone who only comes back with ice? When are you going to stop giving to this, right? To this energy, to this, karmic relationship. So he may wear the mask of a conscious man, right? A spiritual man, but he's not entered his body. He's not in his body, right? He's not done the inner work. He hasn't transcended his karma, right? And he's not interested in doing it. 8 of Pentacles reverse. So he reflects your low self-worth, right? That's why he's your mirror. Because the thing with the twin flames, right? They have self-worth issues that they both have to deal with. Self-worth and self-love. So he's a mirror of your lack of self-worth and your lack of self-love, right? And there you are, the Ace of Pentacles, right? I know my worth now, right? But this is your final test. He reflects your old self-worth programming. This is an old you, right? You've already changed. That's what this Ace of Pentacles tells me. You've already shifted, right? You're looking at things differently now. But he represents an old you, right? This karmic masculine represents an old you. So this is the part of you that still believes being chosen by someone, like he chose you, right? By someone unavailable validates your value, right? Like, look at him. He's so admired, and there were so many other women that were interested in him, but he chose me. He chose me. And that's how I'm getting my self-worth. And that's the only self-worth I have, right? That's not real self-worth, right? Self-worth has nothing to do with the masculine in your life, right? Nothing to do with anything external to you. You have to find it within yourself, and that means to be with your soul, divine feminine. That's what self-worth is. When you're connected to, you're aligned with your soul. And you don't need anything outside. You don't need people choosing you. This is about you choosing you. So you want to start choosing you. So the soul message for you with this placement is let him go, right? Like cut your losses, throw him back in the sea, right? Throw him back in the sea. But you're not going to lob bombs at him. You're not going to like hate him, right? You're going to do it with full integrity, full sovereignty, right? You're the queen. You want to be the queen and just let him go. It's like he's not rising. He's not rising to where I am. And Lilith is going to let you know, right? You're going to be done with the shenanigans and the little games. He's not changing. He's not going to change. He's a test, a karmic test. So letting him go, right? Not with hate. And he was never the home, right? He was never your home. He was never your final destination. He was a map, right? Divine Feminine. He was a map that showed you what you outgrown, right? He's showing you what you've outgrown, right? It's not that he's not your mirror, right? Anymore. So when the truth is the more you soften into your own union with your soul, the more your true counterpart can show up, right? The more you come into union with your soul, your true divine counterpart, which is your twin, will show up, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the twins, their shared wound, and this is really interesting, this one here. You got the Hierophant reverse, you got the Devil card. When the devil shows up, that's big wounding there. And then Justice sideways. So it's not up, it's not down. Right, that's how it jumped out. It jumped out sideways. So the shared wound of the twin is spiritual control and trauma bonding. This is what they're letting go of, right? So what does this show? So this is your twin. This is your divine counterpart. You both share this wound. So this shows past lives of priest, right? Priest and like student, devotee, guru and devotee, addict and rescuer, forbidden lovers, tied by karma, not love, and spiritual contract signed in fear. So there's a spiritual contract here, but it was signed in fear. It wasn't signed in freedom. So this is a wound to be transcended. So this is the temple. If you look at this as the energetic construct or the temple of the twin flames, this has to crumble, right? Because it was built on codependency. Because this has to go, right? Lilith, Pluto are destroying this, and a new temple has to be built. And this is based on self-sovereignty. This is based on freedom for both twins. Both twins can be together, united, but they're self-sovereign. Each is self-sovereign. There's no codependency. There can't be with twins, right? Because it's rooted in fear. This has to be rooted in divine love, the divine love. So this time, you have to, for the twins to come together, the wound that they have to transmute here, they have to come together in conscious love, not shadow bondage. This is the past. So this is a deep karmic layer. And then justice sideways, right? This is, it's not upright. Right? So it means that there's not resolution and it's not reversed. So there's not denial. The twins know this. Maybe they can't articulate it, but they know this, right? They know that it's out of balance. They know that this connection is out of balance, and maybe that's why they're in separation. They know they've got to do this inner work, right? So past lives of contract around like religion, this just reeks of religion, right? Dogma, right? So both the twins have been in these religious contracts. So this is like, if I stay loyal, then I'll be saved, right? Kind of stuff. I'll go to heaven. I'll go to have an eternal life if I stay in this relationship. Or if I do it right, love will finally come. But the Hierophant says, tear down the old religion, right? Your love isn't meant to kneel at any altar, but your own truth, right? So this is also religious vows. So this also, what I see here is like vows made of for celibacy, right? So maybe one of the twins was a priest, and then the other one was, like a devotee student, right? There they are. It's like forbidden love, right? It's forbidden love. Is seeing the woman as impure, right? The masculine sees the woman as impure, that she's an obstacle to my purity and my enlightenment or going to heaven, so chooses God, right? Over the divine feminine, and then takes a vow of celibacy. And what is the woman left with? Shame, that she's impure, right? Feeling shame about her desire, her sexual desire for the masculine, right? So that's a wound too, that could be playing out. And then the masculine, like letting go of like that belief system from religion, right? That the woman is the temptation, she's the devil, right? That's like, this is so rooted in our cellular memory, right? So this is a huge wound for the twins to be letting go of here. Okay. So letting that go. And so this says soul contract at the crossroads. At a crossroads. So you're on the brink. This is what this says to me. The twins are on the brink of transcending this and breaking these contracts. And there you got Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. She's got no shame about her sexuality whatsoever, right? She doesn't have that at all. She's like, screw that, right? That's BS, trying to control women. And she's coming in and breaking that for the masculine and the feminine. So I really see her and Pluto just breaking that contract, that karmic contract. So this temple can be destroyed and the twins can build a new temple. So look at that, divine feminine. If you have anything like that, like shame around your body or shame around your sexuality or your feminine desire, right? Like really, really look at that. Like, I shouldn't be feeling this way for my twin, or, like really dig that out and let that go. This is this devil energy here. So this is the soul contract is not yet complete, but it's no longer unconscious. So right with the devil upright, it's saying that you're conscious of that. So both twins are conscious of this, right? So this is about breaking this contract here. Okay. So the outer, what do we want to look at here? Okay, and this is like to let go of proper, right? What it means to be a proper woman and things like that. I can't dress this way, and right? Like really let this stuff go too. Just Lilith will let you know. Okay, so this could have been like the priest and the priestess, right? The priest and the priestess here in past lives. Okay. Yeah, I'm just seeing religion on this. Okay, but it's an intense soul pull between two, because this is going lifetimes and lifetimes, these twins, lifetimes and lifetimes. But you're here to break this in this lifetime, right? So this is bound by teachings, right? Bound by teachings, religious teachings that suppressed your love, that made it wrong, right? That it's wrong. Okay, but you've never found, so loved each other, but have never been able to come into union and never found the container to complete this. And this is the lifetime to complete it. Yeah. So this is dropping the roles of teacher, especially if one twin was the teacher and the other the student. The twins have to have full equality, like full equality. There can't be any hierarchy with the twins. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go to the spiritual lesson. That got me all riled up, that one. The spiritual lesson here is the Page of Swords reversed and the Star. And this is saying to stop, right? The spiritual lesson is to stop analyzing, right? What the soul already knows, right? So this is healing through truth, right? This is a spiritual connection. The mind, the intellect will never understand this. Will never understand because the soul, the divine, is in charge of this connection. So this is healing through truth, healing through vulnerability. It's standing naked, right? She's naked in the pain, but still holding the light, right? And this is all about faith, having faith. Yeah. Okay, so the next step for the twins is the Hangman and the Hermit. So this is about a pause, a sacred pause. It's stopping, seeking clarity. Stop seeking clarity. Stop looking at your karmic masculine and going within for your answers. And so you must, divine feminine, go into your own temple. You want to unplug from any obsession or trying to figure out this twin connection, right? And you want to ask yourself, what am I still afraid to feel? What am I still afraid to feel? What am I still hoping for to fix me, right? So the Hermit reverse says you're not alone. You're not alone. Your twin is with you, right? Always with you energetically. You can't escape from one another. But this is a path that you have to walk alone. You have to walk alone. This part it has to be walked alone for both twins, right? To come into union, right, with themselves. And this is the rebirth. So it's going within. It's going into the cocoon. So that's your next step, divine feminine, is to go into the cocoon. And then the higher outcome is 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. And this is letting down the burdens, right? Letting down the burdens, letting go of the old story, right? That this twin flame connection doesn't have to be a burden in your life. That's your old story of love. What relationship means is I have to be so burdened. I have to take responsibility for this other person. I've always got to be on my game and, quick replies with my texts, or I have to go and save them. I have to do whatever they want. The codependency, right? It's been a burden to you. And now it's time to put it down, right? That it can be light and fun, because ultimately you're responsible for yourself. And both twins realize that, right? They have to be in union with their soul. If you're not in union with your soul, it's not going to work, right? The connection will not work. It will just continue this push-pull energy, right? Yeah. So this is past lives. This shows past lives of relationships where you had to carry the responsibility of the other, right? In terms of relationships. Yeah. Okay. And this is like, look at me. I work so hard in my relationship, right? Give me love. Give me love. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing that for you. I'm proving. I'm earning your love. You want to let this go now. You don't need to do that for love, right? Because you are love. The love's inside you. The love's inside the other twin, right? That's what you're realizing. Okay. So that's what I got for the twins. That's a bit long, but it was called for. And, okay, we got the generators. Generators be generating, always. Generator feminines. And we got the moon reversed. We've got the Queen of Swords. And we've got the Three of Pentacles. So what's all this about? Well, the first card, this represents Lilith, right? And this represents Pluto. And this is your anchor, right? That's your anchor. So what's being released? The moon reversed. So this is your public mask is being released. The illusion that you've upheld for safety. The performer who fears being seen, right? This is the illusion, right? So this is what Lilith is ripping off your face. This is karmic. This is about you being the good girl who sacrifices truth for approval. And Lilith says, burn that mask, burn that house down, right? Take off that mask here, the moon reversed. Let yourself be seen in your beauty, right? As a divine feminine. So this fakeness is going. Lilith wants it to go. And then what does Pluto want to emerge as the Queen of Swords? This is the real self, right? So that because it's in this position, it's positive. So this is clear, right? Queen of Swords, she doesn't play. She does not play Queen of Swords. She's really good at setting boundaries, right? Clear boundaries. Queen of Swords. She's sharp, right? She's very, very sharp. She's got the sharp clarity, right? She's very, very clear. She speaks what others are afraid to say and does it with elegance, right? She's very eloquent, the Queen of Swords, but it's coming from her authenticity. It's not coming from her intellect, right? The Queen of Swords. So this is the ancient oracle. Queen of Swords is an ancient oracle, and she's reclaiming her name. This is what Pluto wants to come up, right? There's the Queen of Swords moving through the moon, right? Coming up. The fakeness with her sword of truth. So this is a woman no longer afraid of being misunderstood, right? And then the Three of Pentacles is how to stay in the divine feminine energy, right? How do you stay in this divine feminine energy? This is an aspect of it. The Three of Pentacles. This is saying to find real like people that you can work with on your fractal line, right? True collaboration, not energy vampires, right? Queen of Swords is going to spot an energy vampire a mile away, right? So this isn't like joining healing groups that drain all your energy. It looks really good on paper, but then you're like exhausted when you get home. That's right. You want to be with true collaborators. And your feminine stabilizes by choosing who to build with, right? Who am I going to build with, right? And Queen of Swords is going to help you be discerning with that sword of truth, like who, right? And with Lilith, right? Lilith busting through here and then Pluto here. You're going to know who's for you and who's not for you, right? You're going to respond with your sacral. And you're not going to be fooled by flattery, right? And being love bombed and whatnot, right? So you want to show up with people who are like, this is practical, right? People that are serious. They follow their words, right? They take action. You can see, like, judge them. Queen of Swords, judge them by their actions, right? They're not what they're saying, but their actions. So this says a past life that you were a priestess, Queen of Swords. Past life is a priestess or a healer, an herbalist, a temple seer, powerful temple seer, right? An oracle seer, like seeing into the future. But you were betrayed by the public. You're silenced or you're burned, right? For being wrong. Right? Not for being wrong, right? But being right. What I'm trying to say is being right too soon. You know what I mean? Like you were that kind of oracle. You could see what was coming, right? But you were burned because it wasn't coming fast enough. People didn't trust you, right? Now you hesitate. That's why you've got the moon reversed, and now you hesitate to shine in your psychic gifts, right? Because last time it cost you everything, probably your own life, you know? So the shadow this week to watch out for that will pull you out of the DF, the divine feminine, is, will I be judged if I show up, right? As who I really am in my power. Will I be judged by others? Will they leave if I stop people pleasing? Do I even know who I am without this mask that I wear, this pretend mask? So you're something to reflect on is I no longer confuse, right, my mask with my purpose. This is not your purpose. This mask you've been wearing, your true purpose is to come out, right? Come out as that Queen of Swords. You know, generator. So your visibility is not a threat to others. You have to let this go now. It's an initiation. You're initiating other people when you come out in your power. So a good practice for you is to stand in front of the mirror and speak one truth. Just one truth. Stand in front of the mirror and speak one truth that you've never dared to say out loud. Right? And breathe. Say it and breathe and soften and stay with it. Right? And put your hand on your heart and whisper, this is me. And I no longer need to disappear into the moon. So do that, okay? So that's what we got for the generators for this week. And let's go for the MGs, the manifesting generators here. And what do they got? They got, this is total priestess energy, this manifesting generator right here. When you want to do pink here, yeah. So you've got the Two of Cups, the Justice card, and then the Tower in reverse. So what does this say? So this is what you're releasing, okay? So this is the Lilith card, Two of Cups, and the Pluto card is Justice, and your anchor is the Tower reverse, which doesn't seem like an anchor, but we're going to explore this a little bit more. Okay, so this is Priestess Fire, right? So this is about soul initiation for you. It's not about your wounding. It's about soul. You're being initiated, your soul this week. Okay, so with the first one, with Lilith, you've got the Two of Cups. And this is the releasing that Lilith wants you to release the illusion that a union, right, a relationship is going to make you whole, right? This is an illusion. This is a fantasy that I can't be whole unless I'm in a relationship, right? This is old programming that you got going on here. So you've had this longing for a soulmate. Manifesting generators, a soulmate, or even a twin, a longing for a twin flame. The one that finally meets you where you are, right? That can really rise to your depth, right? The depth of you that can really be a match, right? Your match. So you've been longing for this. But Lilith here is saying this is not about being met by the other. So stop seeking or fantasizing about the other, another person. This is about meeting yourself. Two of Cups here. This is about meeting you, your soul, your own soul, right? And to be in your full embodiment. And if you're a manifesting generator and a twin flame traveler, you have to be embodied, right? That's the whole purpose of the twin flame journey, is that you have to be embodied, and that means being in union with your own self, with your own soul. You have to meet you, right? So this isn't about you being thrown out of a relationship. Maybe this week you're going to feel like, I've been rejected, I've been thrown out of my relationship, or maybe you're the one doing the throwing. What it means is you're being reclaimed. You are being reclaimed. Right? It's not as I complete you, but as I see me in you, and I still choose myself, right? I'm seeing myself. I'm seeing the mirror. I'm seeing myself in that mirror, but I'm choosing me, right? I'm choosing me. I'm not waiting around to be chosen anymore. I'm choosing myself, right? So, Yeah. So you must break the pattern. So this is saying that to break a pattern, an ancestral pattern that you probably inherited from your mother about abandoning your body, right? In order to merge with a lover, I have to abandon my body and it has to be all about them, right? So you're letting that go, that ancestral wound here. And then you've got the Justice card, right? And this is big. So this is balancing family stories. This is balancing family stories, karmic family stories around emotional enmeshment in your family. You learned that, this emotional enmeshment with your family, betrayal, and the roles that were assigned to you. You took on these roles in your family as the peacemaker, right? The peacemaker. The wild one who needed to be controlled. The one who carried shame for her mother, her sister, or the women that came before you, right? So Pluto is saying to you, MG, no more, right? No more. You will not build your future home, right, on the lies of your past. You can't. You have to let this go, right? And so you're reclaiming your emotions back, right? Your emotions back. Your own emotional sovereignty. This is emotional mastery. You're bringing that back, right? You're not getting enmeshed in the emotions of others. And you probably have all of your life. This is about you going within. What's me and what was them? What was my family? What did I inherit from them, right? So you're being called to become the mother of your own inner child, right? Your inner child is calling you right now. And this is the mother. You didn't have a mother. That's what this is saying. You didn't have a mother. So now it's time to be your own mother, right? And your inner child is calling you now. So the anchor here, right? And it's all about balance, right? Justice. So this is the aftershock, right? So this is the breakdown. So what this says to me is the breakdown's already happened. You've already gone through the hard part, right? So the breakdown's happened. This is the aftershock. So the structure's already cracked, right? In your home life, in your relationships, right? It's already cracked, right? So now it's about the sacred cleanup. You're having a sacred cleanup. And you're deciding what to rebuild, what to bless, and what to never repeat again, right? So you want to learn your lesson, MG. Like, what am I not going to repeat again, right? Get the lesson. Take some time to air out and like to really look at this in truth. So your feminine anchor this week is saying to go into stillness. Go into stillness and discernment. What was destroyed, and maybe you're be going through that this week, right? And this is the heads up, but some part of you, your soul, your priestess energy knows that it's already cracked. It's already started to being crumbling, right? So this is saying to come into your stillness. And what do I never want to call back? What I learned the lesson? What don't I want to call back? Maybe it's emotionally unavailable men, right? Masculines that don't see me, that treat me like crap. Well, I'm not calling that in anymore. This is my line, right? Here's my line. Like, really look at that. What's the deal breaker for me, right? Like, to really reflect on this. Because this, Pluto 41 and Lilith, this is about a whole new chapter for you, MG. And then what within me refused to fall, even when everything else did, right? What's still left standing, MG? What's still left standing now? And when everything's fallen, what's still there? Well, that's your soul. And what's your soul saying? That you're not broken, you're free. You're not broken, you're free now. You've been liberated. So the past life here is that you've lived many, many lifetimes. What these three cards are showing. In relationships where you lost yourself, in union, right? Many, many lifetimes, and where love came at a cost of your identity, right? Right? It came at a cost. I lost myself. I became whatever, like an extension of the union. You know what I mean? And so this was where emotional collapse was mistaken for devotion, where you completely emotionally collapsed, maybe went numb, right? That means that I'm devoted. This is the belief system that you have to let go of. So this is the week where you want your heart back, right? You're bringing your heart back online, right? You're getting the paddles out and you're resurrecting yourself, right? Because you're free now. So no more merging, right? No more merging now. It's like to be in truth, it's you're bringing yourself back. So practice for you to do is to touch your heart and your navel and say out loud, the collapse is complete. I stand in what remains, and what remains is sacred. Right? The collapse is complete. I stand in what remains, and what remains is sacred. And then breathe in and whisper, I remember who I was before I gave myself away. I remember who I was before I gave myself away. Right? And so I no longer sacrifice myself for the promise of connection. My body is my beloved. My truth is my foundation. So that's your mantra for this week, right? It's time to come into relationship with your own self. That's beautiful. Beautiful for the MGs. Okay. And let's go for the projectors. Okay. So the projectors. So this is the Lilith cards. 2 of Wands and 6 of Swords in reverse. And then the 3 of Cups is Pluto. And then the anchor is the Judgment reversed and the 5 of Swords reversed. And this is for the projectors. Right? So this is you've tried to move on. Right? Lilith is like saying you tried to move on. You tried to leave the pain of your family, right? The relationship heartbreak or the emotional betrayal behind. But you keep being pulled back, Divine Feminine. You keep being pulled back because you want to stay, right? Because there's a part of you that hasn't yet been witnessed, right? So this is saying that there's hurt and pain, and you're trying to spiritual bypass. I just want to move on, right? But then you're being pulled back, right? You're being pulled back because you need to be witnessed. And this is what Lilith wants. And wants you to witness your own pain. It's like to admit, right? I'm going to admit how wounded and painful that experience was. I'm going to see myself, witness my own pain. And then it will start to move, right? Yeah, that energy will start to move. So this could be even your childhood too, right? So you can't move on until you speak the truth of what happened inside you. You got to speak the truth to yourself. So the 2 of Wands reversed says that you haven't yet chosen the new path because you're mourning what should have been home, right? So you'll not be defined by the pain that you inherited. So this is childhood, right? This is like I need to witness my inner child and the pain that I went through as a child. And until then, I'm not moving forward in my life. Right? Because the inner child is like an entity within us, you know, that never grows up. But there's the hurt, wounded inner child. And the hurt, wounded inner child wants our attention, right? And our care. not someone else's. So Lilith here is saying that you're not going to be defined by the pain that you inherited, but you must stop carrying it like it's sacred, right? You're carrying that pain as it's sacred, right? You don't realize that you can let it down, you can let it go, right? So stop carrying it. That's the message. But you need to witness your inner child, and just acknowledge, yeah, that was a really painful situation that you lived through. And then there might be tears, right? And then you're witnessed your inner child, and then you can move on. It's just details of your life that happened, but they need to be witnessed first. And then you've got Pluto, 3 of Cups. So this is offering a new relationship blueprint. This is the old relationship blueprint, right? The pain. To love someone means to be in pain and to suffer, to be abandoned, to be rejected, whatever, right? So Pluto here is the new model of relationship, and this is rooted in joy, right? It's rooted in mutual support. Wow, I don't have to do all the giving in relationships, that there can be support for me too, right? And it can be joyful and fun and happy and light. So this is the crack of sunlight after the death of an old relationship structure, right? That's going down. So you may resist it, right? But you also need to trust that love can feel this good. It can feel this good. It's like not waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's the old paradigm, right? And this is you mean I don't have to overfunction? I don't have to give and give and give and make myself feel needed to be loved? Yeah, that's what the 3 of Cups is saying. So it means you can rest, right? You're able to rest, projector, and still be seen. So this is the universe saying that your relationships are allowed to feel like a celebration and not a sacrifice, right? And what's your anchor so that you don't get pulled out of your divine feminine energy and power? Stop punishing yourself, right? Stop betraying yourself, abandoning yourself in love. So this is saying you're still holding yourself hostage for the person that you used to be. You're not letting go of your old self, right? So the 5 of Swords says you've already walked away, but you're still fighting the battle in your head, right? Energetically, you've walked away from this, but you're still in your head about it. So, but this is about grace, that you don't have to do this big thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you can lean on grace, just the power of grace. So this is your chance to just lay down the sword. The only battle that's going on is in your head, right? So lay down your sword and forgive yourself and let the divine feminine energy come through peace, right? You don't have to fight for the divine feminine. You can just, through grace, just allow yourself to relax, come into your body, right? And then peace is there, right? So the past lives here is that you were the keeper of peace in a war-torn household, right? So you could have been a wife of a man who never saw you, and the daughter who bore the burden of everyone's emotions, and now you must stop parenting, stop being the mother, right, to your partners, and stop punishing yourself for wanting ease. Oh, I just want ease in my relationship, right? That's the old paradigm, is I got to be the parent. I have to be the mother to my partner. So what you do here, projectors, is you light a candle, get a candle, and write a forgiveness letter to your younger self, right? Your younger self in these relationships who said yes when she really meant no, right? I said yes too many times when I really wanted. It was no. The answer was no. And read it out loud to yourself, right? And then burn it. And whisper, I no longer owe anyone, right? I don't have to suffer for love, right? I don't have to suffer for love. So my worth, your worth, projector, my worth is not measured by how much pain I carry. I forgive myself that I had to survive, and now I choose the self that longs to live. Right? In this, Pluto wants you to be happy in your relationships. That's awesome. Okay, let's go for Manifestors. In the Manifestors, the Lilith card is here. The cards are the Star reversed, the Strength reversed. Pluto is the Nine of Swords, and then the Anchor is the Six of Cups reversed. So this is you releasing the pressure to be the collective's hope, right? As a manifestor. So the people in your life being their hope, you're letting that go. To stay bright for others while you're collapsing inside, right? I've got to have the I'm fine face on all the time for other people. But meanwhile, I'm collapsing inside, you know? Nobody's noticing. So you're undoing this strength, right? This facade of being the strong one, right? The reliable one. I'm the one everybody counts on that goes to, right? They shirk all their responsibilities, but I'm there. I'm holding the line, right? Well, Lilith is saying, let that go, right? Let it go. And then Pluto says, this is the dark night of self-worth. So this is when you let this go. Pluto's let that go, manifestor. And then Pluto is like, you've got to deal with your low self-worth, because that's why you were doing this. You were compensating for low self-worth. So this is about you redefining your value, your identity outside of being needed, right? That's the fantasy. Lilith is like the need to be needed. That's the feminine conditioning, right? The wounded feminine. Taking that on. So this is the fear of invisibility. Well, nobody will notice me unless I'm doing, right? Do. But I also fear being seen and still not chosen. The Nine of Swords. So Pluto wants you to feel this, right? There's going to be grief coming up for you this week. This is if you're open to evolving. And then the Anchor is the Six of Cups, right? So this is the return to innocence. This is the return to your innocence. This is the inner child that's calling you home, right? And so your feminine anchors when you reclaim your softness, right? And your innocence, not being the tough guy, right? That's not you. It's something that you took on. And so this is you love yourself, more inner child stuff, hey? Love yourself without having to earn it. You don't have to be doing to be loved, right? And so this can point to past life memories or this is like past life stuff too, right? Your childhood echoes of carrying too much emotional weight too soon, right? These are the oldest children, you know, mom's like out there pumping the babies out, right? And the oldest child, the girl, becomes a mother. Right? She becomes a mother to her siblings and she doesn't have a childhood, right? That could be going on too. And it's time to go back to your inner child. So let's look at the past life. Well, you were the past life. You were the golden child. You were the golden child, the gifted healer, the one the village could count on, right? So even as a child, you were seen as a channel. You were a channel of the divinity. And expected to hold emotional weight that was never yours. And now the wound is rising, right? Well, if I'm not helpful, will I still be loved, right? You had so much responsibility in your past lives. So this is the shadow that you're going to be facing this week is people pleasing, masked as community service. Emotional regression, like feeling tired, like lost, unsure of your worth. Dreaming of the past, longing for what could be simpler, what felt simpler, but forgetting how heavy it really was, your childhood. So the anchor practice for you is place your hand over your heart and in the other hand over your solar plexus and whisper, I forgive the world for asking too much of me. I forgive the world for asking too much of me. I'm allowed to be soft and still sacred. And then breathe into your belly and say, I'm not here to serve what drains me. I'm here to return to what delights me. I'm not here to serve what drains me. I'm here to return to what delights me, manifestors. So you're no longer available to be the symbol of hope for other people in your life while abandoning yourself. You return to the child who knew joy without needing to earn it, right? So you remember this. Okay. And are we almost done? Holy smokes. The reflectors, the reflectors are the sensitive ones, the most sensitive types, the most misunderstood types of all the human design types. And so really their reading is like connects to all the other types, right? All the other types. And even the twin flames. Okay? So we got the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Four of Wands, and then Death reversed. So it doesn't matter if you're a projector, generator, MG, or manifestor. Listen to the reflectors, the reading, right? We have to honor our reflectors. Only 1% of the planet. Okay. So this is a soul death. Right? There's the death card. It's a soul death that doesn't look dramatic on the surface, but it feels cataclysmic inside. This is an internal soul death. Right? So what's the question here is, what spiritual stories must I unlearn to truly remember myself? So Lilith with Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is the Lilith card, reflectors, and then the Pluto card, and then the Anchor card. So this is a karmic loop. Goes on and on and on and on. And so you're seeing reflectors. You're being shown the pattern that keeps repeating. Going round and round. And this is choosing spiritual teachers who all ultimately gaslight you. They're false prophets. They're false teachers. They're gaslighting you. Right? It's trying to be positive instead of feeling your truth. So Wheel of Fortune here. Lilith is showing you who not to trust, right? In terms of spiritual teaching. Because it's really about you needing to go inside. So this is repeating soul contracts that begin with inspiration and they end with confusion. So this is, you're not broken, but the system that raised you to doubt your intuition is, right? So if you have a teacher in your life that's teaching you to doubt your intuition, that's not a true spiritual teacher. Here's how you know if someone is a true spiritual teacher. They're pointing you back to yourself, right? They're pointing you back to your own intuition, to your own power, feminine. So you've got to stop outsourcing your power, right, to others, to a spiritual teacher. And then we've got this, the Four of Wands. This is Pluto. And this means that you're being offered a quiet, unseen, internal celebration. They're celebrating the Four of Wands here. So Pluto is saying that there's safety. You're safe now. You don't have to be on guard anymore, right? This is a soft soul reunion when the version of yourself that never needed to be anyone else comes back. Even if no one sees your transformation, right? Your soul knows. You've shifted. You know this, right? Even though it's not a big bombastic thing, right? Something has shifted. That's what Pluto is saying here too. And then you've got the Anchor, which is death reversed. And so this is saying you're resisting the final surrender, right? You've done really well so far, but this is the final surrender. So you're going to come face to face with this. So there's a fear that if you let go of the spiritual path that once held you, you'll have nothing left, right? But death reverse says you're not dying, you're being reformed, you're being reborn, right? So you're not required to stay loyal to what saved you in the past. Maybe this whatever the spiritual community was or teachings. Maybe it did really help in the past, but now it's time for you to move on. Remember, spiritual teachings are like rafts, right? You're getting from one place to another, and it's a raft. So you get to the place, you get to the next place, right? Maybe you went from one island to another island. You don't keep carrying the raft. You put down the raft, right? It's to not, Buddha, you don't worship the finger pointing at the moon. You look at the moon, right? What it's being pointed to is you. That's what this Four of Wands is saying too. Okay, so you're not required to be loyal to these old systems. We're evolving, right? We're evolving. So the past lives here, what this is showing these cards is that you were a mystic, right? Or a priestess, and you're bound to temples that later betrayed you. That's what you're clearing. So your magic was used and then denied. So your purity was honored, and then you were in exile, right? You were celebrated, and then you were thrown away, right? So now there's a caution with you to trust any spiritual structure again, right? But, right, you just need a frequency. So especially as a reflector, it's not about the information. It's not about gathering information anymore, right? This is the age of Aquarius. It's where you need to be in the right frequency so that your wisdom can start to unlock, right? Especially as a reflector, it's so important for you to be in the right environment with the right people. So tune into your frequency. What's my frequency here in this environment? Okay, I can really soften and let go here, and then you can tap into your wisdom that's already in the cells, divine feminine. It's already there. Yeah. So your anchor practice, reflector, is you want to light incense, like get some incense, or you probably have some already, and you want to light it up, and you want to lie on the floor with one hand on your navel and the other one on your brow, right, on your third eye. And you whisper, I release the story that kept me safe. I release the story that kept me safe. I receive the truth that sets me free. I receive the truth that sets me free. And imagine old robes and titles and oaths and vows just falling away, right? Visualize that in your mind. And you're no longer loyal to a path that cost you yourself. You're no longer loyal to a path that cost you yourself. And your softness is your sanctuary. Your temple is your heart. And you trust the death, right? And what lives after it, right? Because you're being asked to be reborn here. Powerful. Reflectors readings are always so powerful, and they apply to all of us because we're all going through this ego death, right? Saturn just went into the 36, and this the North Node is in the 36, right? And that's all the darkening of the light, And we're in the 36.6 right now. That's the just now chart. Okay, so that's what I have for everybody. And I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, then please like my video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And you can follow me on Instagram or Telegram, and then YouTube, right? The community, there's a community tab, and I post there every day. And please leave your comments and let me know. I love reading them. Okay, so this is my soul clock that I'm on, and this is released on Tuesdays to start off your week, and then look on Friday, right, for another one. And I have a free newsletter too, and I've got some exciting new offerings, and and they're going to be related to the divine feminine, so I think people are going to really enjoy them. So but I'll announce them as they come more manifest into form. Okay, so take really good care of yourself and trust your body above all else. Your body is going to tell you the truth right now, divine feminine. Okay? Okay, Sat Nam Aloha.